A young girl gunned down, a father shattered, and a community shaken. Tonight on our news, live at 7, the heartbreaking moment he found her lifeless. And a baby caught in the middle of a domestic fight. Now his father facing serious charges. What prosecutors say happened and what's next. And as communities mourn, the nation reflects. The National Day of Prayer setting the tone for independence celebrations. Then in our news at 7:30, a new budget kicks in at midnight and government's calling it historic. But what does a surplus mean for your wallet? We break it all down with RF Bank and Trust. Our news live at 7 starts right now. Welcome to our news live at 7. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Candino Knowles. Grief, gunfire, and a father's worst nightmare. A young girl gunned down, a boy among the injured, and a family forever changed. Tonight, we'll tell you the heartbreaking words from the father who found his daughter's body in about 2 minutes. But before we get to that, we are following developments in the tropics with 2 named storms already in the books. Andrea last Wednesday and Barry over the weekend. Forecasters now eyeing what's next in a hurricane season, expected to bring 19 storms in total. That leaves 17 more on the list, and we're just getting started. Meteorologist Greg Thompson, he's standing by in the Weather Center. And Greg, on the heels of your Storm Navigator show with host Jasmine Brown that aired last night, what's the latest outlook?
Well, as you mentioned, we had Andrea, and now we had Barry the weekend gone, and the National Hurricane Center now watching an area just to the north of the Bahamas, as they do expect a frontal boundary to drop towards that area and stall. So we could see 1 or 2 low pressure systems forming off of that front and possibly gaining some tropical characteristics, but that won't be until about Thursday, Friday's time frame. But as we are speaking, the time frame or the areas we look for during the hurricane season, this time of the hurricane season, July, which is actually tomorrow. We are closing out June with 2 systems. July, these are the areas we typically look for down there in the Eastern Caribbean, in the Gulf of Mexico, and then just to the east of the Bahamas. And of course, as you mentioned, the area that we're going to continue to watch would be the one just to the east of the Bahamas. And of course, as I mentioned, the National Hurricane Center giving the time frame 4th to the 7th of July for the formation of anything along this area with that frontal boundary stalling. And we'll take you to the satellite picture and show you what's happening out there. In the meantime, the tropics quiet. A couple of tropical waves cross the tropical belt, but Barry, the remnants of that, still lurking near the eastern coast of Mexico, falling quickly apart, and it's going to continue to move inland. Closer to home, we do have an upper level low, big one that's spinning. That's keeping us a little unstable, so we're going to continue to monitor this area. As I mentioned, the National Hurricane Center will watch that frontal boundary that's going to be dropping in there. So more showers and thunderstorms in the forecast. This low will possibly be one of the triggers to help this system get some formation. And of course, warm Atlantic surface, sea surface temperature, the Gulf of Mexico as well, especially the Gulf of Mexico, that's where the warm water is. So we continue to monitor these areas for the next couple of days for some tropical development.
All right, thanks so much for that, Greg. As the season is just getting started, the storms aren't waiting. From preparation to protection, Storm Navigator with Greg and host Jasmine Brown is back, giving you the tools to stay one step ahead. Don't miss the encore presentation. It's this Wednesday, July 2nd at 8 p.m. only on RTV. And coming off tracking those 2 systems, another kind of storm hit one family hard. A father shattered after his daughter was gunned down in a hail of bullets. 2 others, including a young boy, also caught in the crossfire. As police work to piece together what happened, Ishmael Culmer spoke with our Berthany McDermott, describing the moment he found his little girl lying lifeless in a pool of blood.
Ishmael Culmer got the shock of his life Sunday night when he got word that his 26-year-old daughter, Ishnika Culmer, was tragically gunned down. Making the already devastating situation worse, Culmer says when he arrived on scene, he found his daughter lying in a pool of blood.
That really hurt me. That hurt me bad. That hurt me. That hurt me. That hurt me. That hurt me. That really did hurt me.
Police telling us 3 people were shot shortly before 10 Sunday night. The 3 victims were on a porch of a home when 2 men shot the 3 of the victims before leaving the scene. A juvenile boy was injured and taken to hospital along with another woman in her 20s. Culmer telling us his daughter has never been one to be involved in bad behavior.
She was in that kind of place and she was a very humble child. doing a little hair work and stuff like that. Wasn't in no one business. Always stayed herself, helping my mom out with everything. And she never was that kind of person. Never, ever was that kind of person. Never, ever.
The grieving father telling us the 26-year-old was always an independent beautician. Her birthday is just a few weeks away. Culmer telling us they began making birthday plans.
Well, the last time I spoke with her, she said, Daddy, my birthday coming up. I said, I know, baby, But she asked me, I said, yes, I can get the birthday cake for you. I said, I can get that for you. And that's the last thing she tell me. It hurt me. I don't even want to talk right now, but but I could deal with it. Father God to guide us and protect us through us.
Police are making this familiar appeal as they seek to solve this latest incident.
We're asking anyone with any information, as we do with each and every one of these incidents, that if you have any information into this matter, to please contact the police at 911, 919, or CID to assist us in investigating this matter and bringing justice to the family of this victim.
Reporting for our news, I'm Berthany McDermott.
All right, thanks a lot for that, Berthany. And in another disturbing case involving a child, a father facing serious charges after his infant son injured during a domestic dispute. Prosecutors say the 28-year-old man intentionally rammed his wife's car on June 19th with their 9-month-old baby inside. The child was hurt in the crash. In court Monday, the father pleaded not guilty to a charge of cruelty to children before Assistant Chief Magistrate Carolyn Vogt Evans. He was granted bail set at $7,000. He's expected back in court for trial on July 18th. And a teenager is dead and another in hospital after a deadly traffic accident in central Andros. Police say that crash happened around 9 p.m. along Queens Highway after the two teens riding a motorcycle collided with a car headed in the opposite direction. Sources have identified the 18-year-old killed as Jimmy Johnson. The other 18-year-old victim airlifted to New Providence for medical treatment. Officer in charge of the Central Andros Division, Inspector McNeil Johnson, telling our news the incident has left the entire community in shock.
A traffic incident that occurred in that vicinity along Queens Highway where a vehicle was traveling south and some motorcyclists were traveling north. One of the motorcyclists collided into the vehicle traveling southbound, still in his lane. One, unfortunately, succumbed to his injuries on scene. The other male, he received some extensive injuries about the body. He was taken to the local clinic, Fresh Creek, where he was treated for his injuries, but because he was in critical, he had to be airlifted into New Providence.
Johnson says speed and inattention may have been possible causes for that deadly crash. Officers from the Traffic Division in New Providence assisting with the investigation. The Andros officer urging young motorcyclists to execute caution when driving.
Please ride responsibly. No speeding up and down through the communities. Wear your protective helmet. And that's a message we've been trying to continuously endorse here in Central Andros. The limited resources my officers have, we've still been trying to make an impact on the motorcycle community that is trying to develop here in Andros, but if they don't have the proper documentations, we let them know that they will be sought out and they will be prosecuted to the full extent of the law.
All right, and as the nation grieves with several communities, it's also beginning a period of national reflection and celebration. With Independence Day just over a little under a week away, a number of events are already underway, including Monday's observance of the National Day of Prayer. Independence Secretariat member Bishop Denzel Rolle says it's a time for Bahamians across the country to come together in prayer, unity, and spiritual reflection.
There's no time when any body of people, especially as we espouse to be a Christian nation, should not pause for moments of prayer, regardless. But when you look at the fact, number one, that we are in the first month of the hurricane season, we know what happened back in 2019 and what has happened for so many years prior to that, that there's a need for us to come together and pray, asking God's protection and his watch over the islands of the Bahamas.
We turn now to politics as the Coalition of Independents releasing a full slate of candidates as talk of the 2026 general election ramps up. Comes days after the Free National Movement announced its first slate of candidates last month. No date has been given for the next general election. Political parties ramping up their campaigns. The Coalition of Independence is among them. The party's new headquarters in Chippingham was packed with curious Bahamians as the party outlined the way forward. Party leader Lincoln Bain sharing with us that the slate of candidates are the best choice, saying Bahamians are over the two major parties.
What you saw yesterday was more Bahamians, young, middle-aged, and older Bahamians who have decided that they want to use their skills to transform this country. You know, a lot of people are tired of the same old, same old. You go to the F&M, 6 months later you're crying. You go to the PLP, 6 months later you're crying. No, we got to try something different. So what you saw was, for example, a young man in his 30s, who's a medical professional, who trains medical professionals in the United States of America, but decided to bring his skills back here to the Bahamas and to actually use it for building this country.
While a third party has never been elected, Bain says support for the party is growing. As the Boundaries Commission still set to meet, COI leader says he's not concerned about the constituency boundaries changing.
Changing boundaries and gerrymandering never works. All right, they would gerrymander the boundaries and still lose. You know, so we're not concerned about how they do the boundaries. We think that Bahamians all across this land, no matter how they cut the boundaries, are tired of the pain that they've been going through.
All right, we've got much more to get to tonight, but for now, we're going to take a first look at temperatures outside. Meteorologist Greg Thompson, he's back in the Weather Center. Greg?
Yeah, thanks. It was a rather warm day again. We had some scattered showers around the islands, and you'll see that in our satellite picture. Most of those are pulling out towards the east. 85 degrees is the current temperature outside. East-southeast winds at 12 miles per hour. Feels like temperature is at 88. Temperatures right now around the islands, it's all in the mid-80s. 85 in Freeport, 85 also here in the capital. 84 Allenstown, Bimini. We pick up 83s. Nicholstown, Andros. Marshall, Babaco, pair of 82s. Great Harbor Key and Governor's Harbor. Central Bahamas, 83s. Kemps Bay, Black Point, Exuma, Georgetown, Port Nelson, Rumkey, Deadman's Key, Long Island, 84 in Coburn Towns in Salvador, Arthurstown, Cat Island, 82, and into Southeast Bahamas. All 84s there, with the exception being Abraham's Bay, 83, Providenciales, 87, and Matthewtown in Agua. You are the warm spot for our neck of the woods at 85 degrees. Satellite radar composite. We have a lot of instability across the area, upper level, low still spinning and triggering some showers and some thunderstorms. We got 1 or 2 of those here in the capital earlier today. Most of the activity pulling out towards the east and away from us, but we still have some tropical moisture coming out of the Caribbean. That's going to be moving our way. That upper level low will be slow to move. The National Hurricane Center will continue to monitor that area for some possible tropical development later on in the week. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. Look at your extended forecast. It's still there.
Coming up in sports, could the DeAndre Ayton free agency sweepstakes shift the balance of power in the NBA? Yes, but only if he goes to the right team. Now, what is the right team? I don't know. You got to figure that one out.
Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the R News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, well, from the teams you already trust.
When the winds rise and the storm threatens, are you ready? This hurricane season, face the fury head on. RTV's Storm Navigator with me, Jasmine Brown, and meteorologist Greg Thompson as we reveal the truth behind the storms with expert insights and life-saving tips. When the next storm threatens, will you be prepared? Because when nature unleashes its fury, knowledge is your strongest shield. Stay safe, stay informed, only on RTV.
I was just telling my friend I wish I could get my Our News updates sent to my phone, like a WhatsApp message or something, you know?
Haven't you heard?
Well, who say that?
It's me, Jerome, your news godfather, and I'm here to update your life.
Well, how do you plan to update my life exactly? Because I don't think I'm understanding. Care to elaborate?
Our News has launched its broadcast channel, so now most important updates come straight to your WhatsApp.
Dad, so you tell me that I have access to real-time updates and news at 7:30?
Yes, you get it first and direct and unfiltered.
Okay.
It's perfect for our viewers who want to stay on top of what's going on.
Well, I want to stay in tune. Are you talking about like recent crimes and political updates and heartfelt stories as well as sports coverage?
We're talking exclusive updates, behind the scenes content, major announcement, everything you actually care about.
Nice. I love
Welcome to Our Sports at 7, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Martinet. Let's do show. In just a few hours, DeAndre Ayton went from an offseason afterthought to one of the most sought-after free agents on the market. The question still remains, does he end up with a contender? Ayton is set to officially become a free agent after finalizing a contract buyout with the Portland Trail Blazers, opening the next chapter in his career. The former number 1 overall pick averaged 14.4 points and 10.2 boards per game in 40 starts last season, despite missing time with the calf injury.
The Philadelphia 76ers have a new process in the franchise. This one includes getting players that are good right away, like VJ Edgecombe. On draft night, 76ers president of basketball operations Daryl Morey discussed the reasons behind his franchise taking Edgecombe with the 3rd overall pick. Morey said Edgecombe fits the mold of the 76ers building blocks for the future.
Okay, so new plan for the Yankees. Try to get Jazz ejected every few games, and then he follows with this kind of production. Chisholm blasted a solo home run in the Yankees' 12-5 win over the Athletics at Yankee Stadium yesterday in New York. It was his 3rd home run in his last 4 games, and he's now up to number 13 on the season. His homer came in the 2nd inning and traveled 407 feet, sparking a 4-run rally.
One organization sets out to host student athletes to a weekend on the tennis courts and football field. Bayshore Sports Consultants held their first events for tennis at the John McEnroe Center and flag football field at the Sack Field. The tennis event was led by Michael Major Jr. and Delani Nottage, while the football event was led by former NFL player Rayforth Shipman and coaches from Team Untouchable.
That'll do it for Our Sports. Stay tuned to Our News at 7:30 for details on these stories and more.
When our news comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world as a verdict looms. The jury now deliberates in the Sean Diddy Combs federal sex trafficking trial. Plus, global leaders gather in Spain to revive stalled promises on poverty, healthcare, and clean water. And Barbados fires back after a viral video falsely claims the island is unsafe. What the U.S. Embassy there is now saying, and why officials are urging travelers to ignore the noise. When Our News returns.
The winds rise and the storm threatens. Are you ready? This hurricane season faced the fury head-on. RTV's storm navigator with me, Jasmine Brown, and meteorologist Greg Thompson as we reveal the truth behind the storms with expert insights and life-saving tips. When the next storm threatens, will you be prepared? Because when nature unleashes its fury, knowledge is your strongest shield. Stay safe, stay informed, only on RTV.
I was just telling my friend I wish I could get my Our News updates sent to my phone, like a WhatsApp message or something, you know?
Haven't you heard?
Well, who say that?
It's me, Jerome, your news godfather, and I'm here to update your life.
Well, how do you plan to update my life exactly? Because I don't think I'm understanding. Care to elaborate?
Our News has launched its broadcast channel, so now most important updates come straight to your WhatsApp.
Dad, so you tell me that I have access to real-time updates and news at 7:30?
Yes, you get it first and direct and unfiltered.
Okay.
It's perfect for our viewers who want to stay on top of what's going on.
Well, I want to stay in tune. Are you talking about like recent crimes and political updates and heartfelt stories as well as sports coverage?
We're talking exclusive updates, behind the scenes content, major announcement, everything you actually care about.
Nice. I love the sound of that. So this is like VIP access to the news you don't want to miss out. So what are you waiting for? Be sure to press the notification bell on the WhatsApp broadcast channel so that you don't miss out on all of the real-time updates.
Get ready for the new Charlie Banana Show. That's right, Banana, B-A-N, Nana. You know how to spell banana. You know, right here on Cable Bahamas Channel 212 every Friday night.
It's the Charlie Bahamas Show. It's the season rewind of the Charlie Bahamas Show right here on Cable Bahamas Channel 212. Ain't no bananas in this, except he did try to get on the show. Hey, where'd you get this outfit from?
Your closet.
When the winds rise and the storm threatens, are you ready? This hurricane season faced the fury head-on. RTV's storm navigator with me, Jasmine Brown, and meteorologist Greg Thompson as we reveal the truth.
The This is our news. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. The jury is now in deliberations in the high-stakes federal trial of music mogul Sean Diddy Combs. He's facing serious charges, racketeering, sex trafficking, and transporting women for prostitution, all claims he strongly denies. Prosecutors say he ran an abusive ring, while Combs insists the relationships were consensual. His legal team says he was simply part of a swinger's lifestyle. The jury's got transcripts, evidence, and instructions in hand, and now it's up to them to decide. The jury concluded their deliberations for the day. They're expected to resume Tuesday at 9 a.m. And after a rocky weekend, the U.S. Senate back in action and racing to deliver on Trump's massive tax and spending plan, officially dubbed the Big Beautiful Bill Act. But cracks are showing as GOP Senator Tom Tillis just bowed out after re-election after opposing Medicaid cuts, calling the bill a betrayal. A new Congressional Budget Office report warns the plan could spike the debt by $3.3 trillion and leave nearly 12 million more Americans without insurance. Democrats are reportedly planning a flood of amendments. Global leaders gathering in Spain this week to tackle one of the world's biggest problems, the widening gap between rich and poor nations, and how to close it. The United Nations says it'll take $4 trillion a year to get back on track, but the United States has pulled out of the talks, calling the plan overreaching. The four-day conference in Seville aims to reboot stalled development goals amid crushing debt and slashed aid. Despite tensions, leaders hope a new agreement called the Seville Commitment can jumpstart progress on food, education, healthcare, and clean water for all.
This is a moment in which we cannot expect increases in official development assistance. But there are ways to multiply the resources available. And one of the things that we have approved here in Sevilla is to triple the lending capacity of multilateral development banks.
Europe is ready to invest and to innovate. In these times of global uncertainty, you can count on us.
And Barbados is pushing back hard against a fake report falsely claiming the United States issued a top-tier travel warning against the island. Officials say the information shared in a YouTube video is pure misinformation meant to damage the country's reputation. The U.S. Embassy confirms Barbados is still at level 1, the lowest advisory, urging normal precautions. A viral message claiming rising crime and collapsing services has been debunked. Barbados' tourism officials thanking the embassy for clearing things up, reminding travelers to stick to official sources and not fall for social media fear-mongering. Still to come in our news, today in history, find out interesting facts about the day that was June 30th. Then in our news at 7:30, band, beat, and Bahamian pride take over. We'll show you the beat retreat that lights up Rawson Square. The next generation steals the show. But first, a woman dead and a child fighting to survive. The latest shooting. It sparks national outrage and a fierce call to protect our most vulnerable. When our news returns.
I was just telling my friend I wish I could get my Our News updates sent to my phone, like a WhatsApp message or something, you know?
Haven't you heard?
Well, who say that?
It's me, Jerome, your news godfather, and I'm here to update your life.
Well, how do you plan to update my life exactly? Because I don't think I'm understanding. Care to elaborate?
Our News has launched its broadcast channel, so now most important updates come straight to your WhatsApp.
Dad, so you tell me that I have access to real-time updates and news at 7:30?
Yes, you get it first and direct and unfiltered.
Okay.
It's perfect for our viewers who want to stay on top of what's going on.
Well, I want to stay in tune. Are you talking about like recent crimes and political updates and heartfelt stories as well as sports coverage?
We're talking exclusive updates, behind-the-scenes content, major announcement, everything you actually care about.
Nice. I love the sound of that. So this is like VIP access to the news you don't want to miss out. So what are you waiting for? Be sure to press the notification bell on the WhatsApp broadcast channel so that you don't miss out on all of the real-time updates.
Get ready for the new Charlie Banana Show. That's right, Banana, B-A-N Nana, you know how to spell banana. You know, right here on Cable Bahamas Channel 212 every Friday night.
It's the Charlie Bahamas Show. It's the season rewind of the Charlie Bahamas Show right here on Cable Bahamas Channel 212. Ain't no bananas in this except...
On this day in Bahamian history in 1962, the bill giving all Bahamian women the right to vote came into effect. It was passed in the House of Assembly in February 1961. Against the dramatic backdrop of the Burma Road riot and the general strike, the women's suffrage movement fought against the political, economic, and racial inequities. During 1959 and 1960, the movement gained traction in petitioning and demonstrating publicly for women's right to vote. Then in 2018, tragedy struck in waters off the coast of Exuma as an explosion on board the Four Seas Adventure killed one person and left 11 people injured. The boat's engine reportedly exploded, leaving a severely charred wreckage. 3 Americans and 1 Bahamian had to be airlifted to the capital for further medical attention. The remaining tourists were airlifted to a hospital in Fort Lauderdale, where 1 person had her legs amputated. Some 3 years after the incident, the tour boat company owner and his captain were acquitted of causing the deadly boat explosion by negligence. A boating expert claimed the vessel had multiple faults which all could have caused the explosion. And finally, in 2019, Brent Simonet resigned as Minister of Finance with effect from July 1st that year. He was succeeded by Ellsworth Johnson. The reason for Simonet's resignation is still unknown. All right, the country's precious pearls getting an opportunity to stay fit thanks to a fitness initiative by the Urban Renewal Center. In this final story in this half hour, we show you a visit to one of the workout sessions. Atalia Hall was there.
It was all smiles and movement in the Lewis Yard community as a number of seniors took part in an exercise program. The Urban Renewal Center in Grand Bahama recently hosted Range of Motion, a specially designed program to keep older adults healthy, flexible, and energized. The session focused on light cardio, stretching, and strengthening exercises aimed at supporting joint health, improving mobility, and encouraging an active lifestyle. And these seniors are fully on board.
It's a great morning, and I think this is great, especially for the seniors, to move their legs, exercise. We should continue doing this.
Well, today I enjoyed myself. It was a very interesting thing, to get me out of the house, and I really enjoyed myself.
Russell and trainer Sam Williams, both 81 years old, share the keys to a long life.
My daddy lives to be 100, so I'll probably follow in his footsteps. And I have an auntie, 104 years old in Nassau. Well, right now, I'm a diabetic, and I eat anything. I like to cook pea soup and things like that.
The key to longevity, the key to look good is your rest, your food, and your exercising. And you have to be disciplined.
The program also emphasizes mental wellness. Participants heard from President of the Bahamas Grandparent Support Foundation, Claire Fox, on the importance of staying mentally sharp, especially for those caring for grandchildren.
It's exciting to be a part of this organization because definitely you need to be fit, you need to be trim, especially if you're dealing with grandchildren. You need to be mentally fit also, and that's where we come in.
And Urban Renewal Program Director Lloyd Grant says this is just the beginning of the national initiative. The team is taking the effort across the island with 8 Mile Rock up next, and it's all free of charge.
When you get my age and a little older than I am, you really need to begin to pay attention to those things in order to preserve life a little longer. And so we encourage seniors to come.
Reporting for our news, I'm Atalia Hall.
All right, thanks for that, Atalia. If you want to watch that story again and for all of today's top stories, you can visit ournews.bs. It's going to do it for us in News at 7. And of course, joining us now is Atalia Hall. She's got the latest headlines. Atalia, I heard in your story, the key to longevity is rest, exercise, and your food. So
Yes.
nutrition. I can tell you that I was working on one of those secrets or those keys. to longevity over the last 2 weeks. I didn't get
Before
to see
we
you, so
move
it's
on,
good to see
welcome
you tonight.
back. I wanted to welcome you officially. You were missed.
Certainly,
I hope you
missed being on the
enjoyed.
best with
Yeah?
you. Yeah.
Okay, you had a restful break.
I did. Like I said, I didn't know he said it, but he said it best. You know,
Yes.
that's one of the secrets. I did get to rest, though. So.
All right, thanks so
Yeah.
much, Ken. We're happy to have you back. Well, coming up, the Beat Retreat lights up Rawson Square and a fierce call to protect our most vulnerable. Here are your latest headlines.
First tonight on our news live at 7:30, a significant drug bust prompted a police press briefing at its headquarters this afternoon, with officers revealing details of the operation. Our Berthany McDermott is live with the latest. Also, a triple shooting late Sunday night has left one woman dead and a child fighting for their life. We have details from the crime scene coming up. And now Rise Bahamas is speaking out, calling for immediate action to better protect children from gun violence. And later, a new fiscal year officially begins tomorrow. During our sit-down interview, investment executive David Slatter breaks down the numbers and the impact. The story when our news live at 7:30 returns.
Joshua Williams here. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button and to follow all of our social media pages. Also, don't forget to push that notification button so that you can see all of the great content from the team you already trust.
I'm very excited and I can't believe it. It's it's a dream come true. When she did call me yesterday about it, I didn't know what to believe. Thanks to Mr. Coleman and this whole staff for what they do, and making sure the customers are taken care of, making sure we enjoy the gaming they do give to us. Chances is the great house to play, even down to the staff, is perfect. They're going to Marvel.
Welcome to Paradise Games, where exceptional service meets the ultimate gaming experience. Our dedicated team is here to make every visit a win.
Now this is paradise.
This is more than just a place to play.
Now this is paradise.
It's where excitement meets world-class service.
Now this is paradise.
Now this is paradise.
Come experience it for yourself. Now this is paradise.
Keisha, one thing with you ain't never have no money. I just sent Miko inside Wendy's just now because Wendy's having their summer promo. Just hot cash, girl. Yes, hot cash. But anyway, we did this one right now. We trying to win this $10,000. And even if you ain't win the $10,000.
Welcome to our news. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Natalia Hall. Nearly $2,000 worth of marijuana, 25 illegal weapons, and over 5,000 rounds of ammunition were taken off the street over the weekend. In a press conference late this afternoon, Police Commissioner Shanta Knowles hailing it a win for law enforcement as she believes the bust disturbed criminal plans. Our Berthany McDermott was at that press conference late this afternoon. Berthany, he's live in studio tonight. What can you tell us?
Italia, a joint operation between the Royal Bahamas Police Force and the Customs Department bringing big results tonight. Police Commissioner Shanta Knowles sharing that just over 49.6 pounds of marijuana with an estimated street value of $198,400, 25 illegal weapons, and 5,316 rounds of ammunition were confiscated by officers. Commissioner Knowles telling us one man is in custody. She provided this breakdown of the seizure.
In this haul, we have 25 weapons that were recovered. 2 of them are revolvers, 11 of them are pistols, 1 of which is a ghost gun, 12 of them are rifles, 9 of which are ghost guns, and of course 29 magazines, 24 packages of what we know now to be marijuana, 24 packages which contain ammunition in the amount of 5,216.
The seizure comes hours after a triple shooting on Wolf Road where a 26-year-old woman was killed and a 13-year-old boy was rushed to hospital with bullet wounds to the leg. Police believe this major find provides a level of relief to the public.
And that is exactly why we wanted to share with this with the public, to show them that we are out there working. We're working every bit of information that the public shares with us. And this is what happens when we have partnership with the public. But we just need the public to see, and for those who we may not have in custody, to see that we got your guns, we have your marijuana, we have your ammunition, and my team will now be coming to look for you.
And Berthany, the police commissioner, telling us the illegal items were found in household items?
That's right, Italia. Apparently, police revealing to us that the items were purchased abroad and imported into the country. And the drugs, along with those weapons and the ammunition, was stashed inside the household items. Italia.
All right, thanks, Berthany. Our Berthany McDermott reporting live in studio tonight. Well, police were called to the scene of a triple shooting late Sunday night where 3 people were shot, one of them a juvenile boy. Family members confirming 26-year-old Ishaniqua Culmer tragically lost her life in the incident. Police press liaison officer Chief Superintendent Sharia King telling us they got the call shortly before 10 that night.
Well, what we have learned thus far is that the 3 victims were at a residence on the porch when 2 males on foot came from a southern direction or south of the residence, opened fire on the 3 victims, fatally wounding 1, and 2 of the victims were transported to hospital.
Police are unable to say how the 3 victims are related. This is the 3rd homicide in 7 days. King making this familiar plea.
We're asking anyone with any information, as we do with each and every one of these incidents, that if you have any information into this matter, to please contact the police at 911, 919, or CID to assist us in investigating this matter and bringing justice to the family of this victim.
Well, the violence sparking outrage across the country. Our Delvardo Emmanuel spoke with the founder of Rise Bahamas, a group known for fighting for the rights of women and children. She's calling for urgent action to protect kids from gun violence.
It was a tragic scene yesterday as gunfire erupted in the Wolf Road area, leaving a woman dead and a child wounded. The incident has rattled the community and sparked outrage over the innocent bystanders being caught in the crossfire. Founder of Rise Bahamas, Tennille Burrows, says the violence is a stark reminder of why more needs to be done.
Every child, every life that we lose or that is injured or experiences trauma, we care about and we value. We know that for a number of years there have been cases of crimes where people, well, particularly children, are in the line of fire and they get injured, and some of them have passed away.
Burrows also stressing the importance of tackling gender-based violence.
When it comes to certain types of crimes, women are more susceptible, rape and things of that nature, heinous things. But in terms of crimes against women, we have something called gender-based violence. And if we don't reach it at the root, it'll never be solved. So we definitely need to look at programs, look at incentives, similar to the gun amnesty, similar to agencies that do counseling, intervention, shelters.
Burrows says it's time for the government to get proactive.
We haven't been focused on prevention, I think, for a number of years, decades, and perhaps I haven't seen government officials come out with any impressive plan to promote peace and discourage crime. But I'm sure the government has done before. The public needs to be made aware of what the results were from that amnesty program so we could see how effective it is. And, there's only so much the police can do. We always say it's about prevention, detection, and enforcement. The police is the 3rd phase. How do we encourage citizens and people who live in the Bahamas to bring forward information that might assist the police?
Reporting for Our News, I'm Delvardo Emmanuel.
All right, thanks for that, Delvardo. Well, a 21-year-old man is behind bars on murder conspiracy and murder charges. Prosecutors say Edward Major planned and carried out the June 23rd murder of 25-year-old Linwood Roll. Roll was shot dead outside of his home on Newbold Street off Market Street. Roll did not have to enter pleas to the charges. When he stood before Chief Magistrate Roberto Reckley, bail was denied, and he returns to court on October 2nd to receive voluntary bill of indictment papers. Well, warm temperatures to start off the work week. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is in the Weather Center with your first look at weather. Greg.
Yeah, thanks, Natalia, and welcome everybody for a quick check on conditions around the islands and outside our studios. We are watching an area just to the north of us. We'll show that in a few minutes. 85 degrees, though, is our current temperature on the outside. Warm and breezy, east-southeast winds at 12 miles per hour. Feels like temperature. Still a very warm 88 degrees is what it feels like on the outside. Satellite radar composite, upper level low, still spinning across us, triggering some showers and thunderstorms across the area. We had some showers and thunderstorms here in the capital earlier. Most of the activity pulling off towards the east and away from us, but we do have some return moisture coming from the southwest. So we're looking for some more showers in the forecast tonight to tomorrow. And of course, the National Hurricane Center is also watching this area for some possible development over the next couple of days. We'll tell you more about that later on in the newscast. That's a quick check on conditions around the island. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Still to come in our news, a new fiscal year officially begins tomorrow. During our sit-down interview, an RF Bank and Trust executive breaks down the numbers and the impact. And later, the annual Beat Retreat kicked off Independence season this week, bringing music, marches, and a major parade to the streets. Our Daniel Miller has a story when our news returns. Stay with us.
Keisha, one thing but you ain't never have no money. I just sent Miko inside Wendy's just now because Wendy's 7-day summer promo. Just hot cash, girl. Yes, hot cash. But anyway, we did this one right now. We trying to win this $10,000. And even if you ain't win the $10,000, you can win $2,500 every week, even if you don't get no ride, Keisha. Anyway, Keisha, I go on Miko Reach. Buy. All you gotta do is upgrade any combo between 1 to 12 to medium or large, and they get this new spicy chicken club sandwich. But I just sent Miko inside there for from June 24th to August 1st. You ain't getting the Wendy's, that's on you. But don't ask me for no money when I win.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price, and you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
They're blue for me and you, and I say to myself, what a wonderful
world. In the Bahamas, island time is real. The history of Morris Lumber Company, established in 1945, is etched into the fabric of this proud island nation. It's a story that deserves to be celebrated in full color, and that's where we come in. Morris the Paint Place has been bringing color and vitality to homes and businesses across the Bahamas. Here, color is more than just a hue, it's a symbol of life. Together, we can paint a brighter future.
Inti Corporation is on the move, day by day, panel by panel. Our commitment to sustainable energy becomes more real. With each milestone, Inti redefines what is possible. Not only are the Lucayas solar power projects on the island of Grand Bahama growing in scale, they are setting a new standard for energy independence in the Bahamas. These state-of-the-art solar farms at the Fairfield and Devon sites, once completed, will harness the power of the sun to generate 9.5 megawatts of clean, sustainable energy. Inti is on the move as a beacon of
Usually kicks in just hours from now. It's being called Expanding Opportunities Island by Island, and this time government is touting what they say is something historic, a balanced budget with a surplus. Security, opportunity, affordability, and reform in several sectors are promised to Bahamians, all aimed at driving national growth and long-term stability. But what does it mean for the economy and for everyday Bahamians? In our monthly sit-down interview, I asked Group Head of Investment David Slatter, Vice President, to break it all down from debt trends to the country's financial outlook heading into the new fiscal year.
If you look at the total direct debt of the government and you look at the GDP estimate that the IMF has put out, as of April, the debt to GDP ratio is under 78%, more like 77%, versus 96% at the end of 2020. Since then, it's been steadily coming down. Now, this is total direct debt. There are indirect obligations of the government, but it's a positive sign, moving in the right direction from a debt to GDP ratio level. So that's good news. To what extent the discussed surplus can be achieved next year, we'll see. I mean, I hope it happens. That would be great for the fiscal state of affairs for the country. But we still got some potential headwinds as far as slowing economic growth in the States and slower economic growth here at home as well. We'll see. Before tourism is always the key to economic growth for the Bahamas. And if you look at the numbers through Q1 of this year, comparing it to last year's Q1, total arrivals are up around 8.9%. Cruise arrivals up over 11%. So that's really the driver. Unfortunately, air arrivals are down around 3.3%. So the numbers coming in are less in Q1 of this year than last year. But the average daily rental rate or room rate is higher this year than last year. So to some extent, maybe the hotels are still, haven't lost revenue. But it is a sign of just a slightly slowing economy, still in positive territory, but the rate of growth is expected to slow, as is the case in the United States of America.
It's now time for tonight's Financial Market Minute, brought to you by RF, your local investment bank. This has been your Financial Market Minute. To explore the best performing mutual funds in the Bahamas, visit our website at www.rfgroup.com.
Coming up in sports, DeAndre Ayton gets to escape Portland with his career intact. Hear from 76ers execs on the VJ selection. Jazz goes deep while the Yankees cling to a lead in the AL East. And Bayshore Sports Consultants makes their debut.
Inti Corporation is on the move. Day by day, panel by panel, our commitment to sustainable energy becomes more real. With each milestone, Inti redefines what is possible. Not only are the Lucaya solar power projects on the island of Grand Bahama growing in scale, they are setting a new standard for energy independence in the Bahamas. These state-of-the-art solar farms at the Fairfield and Devon sites, once completed, will harness the power of the sun to generate 9.5 megawatts of clean, sustainable energy. Inti is on the move as a beacon of progress and innovation that is rapidly transforming our energy landscape. Witness the future of sustainable energy unfolding on the island of Grand Bahama as Inti Corporation shines brighter than ever. Inti Corporation, powering your world, powering your future.
And I was just telling my friend I wish I could get my Our News updates sent to my phone, like a WhatsApp message or something,
Haven't you heard?
Well, who say that?
It's me, Jerome, your news godfather, and I'm here to update your life.
Well, how do you plan to update my life exactly? Because I don't think I'm understanding. Care to elaborate?
Our News has launched its broadcast channel, so now most important updates come straight to your WhatsApp.
Dad, so you tell me that I have access to real-time updates and news at 7:30?
Yes, you get it first and direct and unfiltered.
Okay.
It's perfect for our viewers who want to stay on top of what's going
Well,
on.
I want to stay in tune. Are you talking about like recent crimes and political updates and heartfelt stories as well as sports coverage?
We're talking exclusive updates, behind-the-scenes content, major announcement, everything you actually care about.
Nice. I love the sound of that. So this is like VIP access to the news you don't want to miss out. So what are you waiting for? Be sure to press the notification bell on the WhatsApp broadcast channel so that you don't miss out on all of the real-time updates.
Get ready for the new Charlie Banana Show. That's right, Banana, B-A-N, Nana. You know how to spell banana. You know, right here on Cable Bahamas Channel 212 every Friday night.
It's the Charlie Bahamas Show. It's the season rewind of the Charlie Bahamas Show right here on Cable Bahamas Channel 212. Ain't no bananas in this, except he did try to get on the show. Hey, where'd you get this outfit from? Your closet.
Welcome to Our Sports, presented by 10th year seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Mark Nutt. Let's do show. In just a few hours, DeAndre Ayton went from an offseason afterthought to one of the most sought-after free agents on the market. The question still remains, does he end up with a contender? Ayton is set to officially become a free agent after finalizing a contract buyout with the Portland Trail Blazers, opening the next chapter in his career. The former number one overall pick averaged 14.4 points and 10.2 boards per game in 40 starts last season, despite missing time with a calf injury. He struggled to find consistency amid Portland's rebuild. The Blazers have taken centers in the last two NBA drafts as a part of that rebuild, leaving the 26-year-old Ayton on the outside looking in. His stock remains high as one of only 4 players in the league to average at least 10 points and 10 rebounds over the last 7 seasons. The top pick in the 2018 draft, Ayton helped the Phoenix Suns to a run at the 2021 NBA Finals before being traded to the Blazers in 2023.
The Philadelphia 76ers have a new process in the franchise. This one includes getting players that are good right away, like VJ Edgecombe. On draft night, 76ers president of basketball operations, Daryl Morey, discussed the reasons behind his franchise taking Edgecombe with the 3rd overall pick. Morey said Edgecombe fits the mold of the 76ers building blocks for the future.
No, I mean, I think we were seriously considering pretty much, early in the process it was about 6 and then it was down to 4, and then we were deliberating up until the last few days down to who we would pick, and as we dug in, we felt like VJ was by far the best choice there.
Okay, so new plan for the Yankees. Try to get Jazz ejected every few games, and then he follows with this kind of production. Chisholm blasted a solo home run in the Yankees' 12-5 win over the Athletics at Yankee Stadium yesterday in New York. It was his 3rd home run in his last 4 games, and he's now up to number 13 on the season. His homer came in the 2nd inning and traveled 407 feet, sparking a 4-run rally. Defensively, he made waves at third base with an electric diving stop that prevented a multi-run inning and kept the Yankees in control. His 4 RBI day helped the Yankees secure a double-digit win for the first time in nearly 3 weeks, and they now have a 1.5 game lead in the AL East.
I feel like me, I feel like I'm back in my era that I was younger, just going out there and just hitting, just not worrying about stuff, just not worrying about my swing, not worrying about striding too far. Everything just feels good and I'm just going.
One organization sets out to host student athletes to a weekend on the tennis courts and football field. Bayshore Sports Consultants held their first events for tennis at the John McEnroe Center and flag football field at the Sack Field. The tennis event was led by Michael Major Jr. and Delani Nottage, while the football event was led by former NFL player Rayford Shipman and coaches from Team Untouchable, the top-ranked 10U team in the United States.
So everything we're teaching you guys today, you guys will take on outside of sports, working well with others, being leaders, hard work. Everything we're going to teach you guys today, I want you guys to take to the classroom. I want you to take home with you guys and on with you for the rest of your lives.
That'll do it for Our Sports. This is 10YS. Okay, I have not looked at the numbers, but based on what Jazz is doing, he definitely needs to be in the All-Star game, right?
13 home runs, Jazz is the best. All-Star.
Sometimes it's that simple. Back to the studio.
Still ahead on our news tonight, the Beat Retreat is back, marking the start of independence celebrations in the country. Our Daniel Miller shares highlights from the annual event coming up, and Greg is back with your extended weather forecast when our news continues. Stay with us.
Future is home with a live fiber.
And I was just telling my friend I wish I could get my Our News updates sent to my phone, like a WhatsApp message or something,
Haven't you heard?
Well, who say that?
It's me, Jerome, your news godfather, and I'm here to update your life.
Well, how you plan to update my life exactly? Because I don't think I'm understanding. Care to elaborate?
Our News has launched its broadcast channel. So now, most important updates come straight to your WhatsApp.
Dad, so you tell me that I have access to real-time updates and news at 7:30?
Yes, you get it first and direct and unfiltered.
Okay.
It's perfect for our viewers who want to stay on top of what's going
Well,
on.
I want to stay in tune. Are you talking about like recent crimes and political updates and heartfelt stories as well as sports coverage?
We're talking exclusive updates, behind-the-scenes content, major announcement, everything you actually care about.
Nice. I love the sound of that. So this is like VIP access to the news you don't want to miss. So what are you waiting for? Be sure to press the notification bell on the WhatsApp broadcast channel so that you don't miss out on all of the real-time updates.
Get ready for the new Charlie Banana Show. That's right, Banana, B-A-N, Nana. You know how to spell banana. You know, right here on Cable Bahamas Channel 212 every Friday night.
It's the Charlie Bahamas Show. It's the season rewind of the Charlie Bahamas Show right here on Cable Bahamas Channel 212. Ain't no bananas in this, except he did try to get on the show. Hey, where'd you get this outfit from?
Your closet.
When the winds rise and the storm threatens, are you ready? This hurricane season, face the fury head on. RTV's Storm Navigator with me, Jasmine Brown, and meteorologist Greg Thompson as we reveal the truth behind the storms with expert insights and life-saving tips. When the next storm threatens, will you be prepared? Because when nature unleashes its fury, knowledge is your strongest shield. Stay safe, stay informed, only on RTV.
My name is Trevi Williams. I've been a Live Fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent on the services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being
This is our news. Welcome back. We are getting a little busy in the tropics. We have two systems already, Andrea and Barry. Barry is basically falling apart across Mexico, and Andrea was out there in the open Atlantic. But the National Hurricane Center will be watching an area just near the Bahamas that we will continue to monitor. The remainder of the tropics, quiet right now. A couple of tropical waves moving across the tropical belt. But as I mentioned, Barry is falling apart in the Gulf of Mexico and eastern coast of Mexico. Showers and thunderstorms causing quite a bit of rainfall there. We also have a big upper level low that's still spinning across the Bahamas, triggering some showers and some thunderstorms. We expect that to continue through tomorrow as that low lifts towards the north. Frontal boundary will drop towards the central portions of Florida. Low pressure forming the National Hurricane Center, giving that about a 20% chance for formation, but it won't be until the end of the week before we see anything happening there. This is the indication of where we expect anything. It'll be in the eastern Gulf of Mexico or just to the north of the Bahamas, but good for us. System will be moving away from us during that time frame. Boating forecast for the northwest Bahamas. Tonight through tomorrow, your winds will be out of the east to southeast, 10 to 15 knots, seas running 2 to 4 feet. Low tide is at 6:40 tonight, high tide 12:49 in the morning. Central and southeast Bahamas, caution and flag for you guys down there. East and southeast winds 15 to 20 knots, seas running 4 to 7 feet over open waters. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In the extended forecast, keep some more showers in the forecast Tuesday as that upper level low hangs around. We clear up for the balance of the week. Then we have another system moving in the area, so we see some more showers on the weekend. And before we go, we invite you to join us on Wednesday at 8 p.m. for Storm Navigator, which is when we tell you more about the upcoming hurricane season, what you could do for the upcoming season as well. That's a look at our weather. Back to you, Talia.
All right, Greg, thanks so much for that reminder. Well, as the country prepares to celebrate more than half of a century of independence, there's one event that kicks off the season that both kids and adults always look forward to, the annual Pre-Independence Beat Retreat. Our Daniel Miller gives us this highlight.
An arrangement of cymbals, horns, and drums filled Rawson Square on Sunday evening at the annual pre-independence beat retreat, accompanied with high-stepping foot movements, intricate choreography, and theatrical storytelling. Scores of Bahamians were entertained. One of the band's directors, Superintendent Whitney Bastian, says the performance was a combined orchestra of our armed forces, which included the police, the Defense Force, and the Bahamas Department of Corrections bands. Bastian said preparing for the hour-and-a-half show took relentless strategies.
Practices was going on for months, and because we have so much a diverse timetable, we have a schedule basically for 3 different bands. We perform everywhere. It was hard to get everybody together one time. So sometimes we had to practice with just the Defense Force, sometimes just the prison, but we made sure we did everything to have a production here today.
Raise your right hand.
Also featured during the retreat was the combined pop band Yellow Elder Primary School Choir, the Bahamas National Children's Choir, and a tribute to Bahamian icon Elon Moxie. Every aspect was strategic and seamlessly coordinated to ignite the fire of Bahamian pride. He ultimately said this is why it's important for the next generation to not only be spectators of the beat retreat, but to be a part of the show.
Without the kids, we don't have a future. So we have to make sure that we incorporate them so that years to come they can be doing this and we can be watching them.
The Bahamas National Children's Choir is performing Oh My Andress and Catch the Crowd.
And what song did y'all perform?
Crying Doesn't Play.
Were you scared?
No, ma'am.
You're a natural.
Yes, ma'am.
Reporting for our news, I'm Danielle Miller.
All right, thanks, Danny. No, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So polite, of course, to see that story again. It's available now at ournews.bs. And with that, we thank you for joining us for our news tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Natalia Hall. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great evening.
Hi, and thank you for watching. I'm Natalia Hall. Be sure and hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Click right over here. And don't forget to turn on your notifications